What's happening, people? Today's the day. Let's see if we get a few in the chat. Today's the day, boys. Look at that. Beautiful morning out. Beautiful day to be alive. Doing well. I wouldn't imagine there'd be many people up this hour of the morning. But we're en route. On the way up. And it's going to be a good one. "100% James. 100% brother. You know yourself. Same situation, different battleground. That's all it is. Same situation, different ground zero. You're up over that, brother. Hope all is well. And be up in Dublin now in a few hours. And I'm going to meet up with a couple of the boys. We're going to go do the business, do what has to be done. And hopefully, I'm hoping there's going to, and me and many others are hoping there's going to be thousands. For this to have remotely any difference, there has to be thousands upon thousands. What's happening, Jimmy? Alright, bro, what's the story? So to go up now and join the mass amount of Irishmen about to take to the streets of Dublin here in the name of nationalism. You up or that? What's happening, Wizard? You alright? How's everyone this Saturday morning, boys? A nice fresh morning out. Look at that. The beautiful island of Ireland. Back from camp, mate, absolutely shattered. Yeah, fair play to you, Jimmy. Well done, brother. Yeah, you're after taking your channel in the direction you wanted to. Delighted for you. Happy days. And I hope you had a good old camp. We're now off on a mission for Ireland. Operation Chucky Orlaw. 100% Wizard. 100%. I'll tell you a little background story. Right? So, this protest was set up a few weeks ago for 2 o'clock, right? 2 o'clock. And then the opposition party, right? The opposition to what we're trying to do, right? Have set up a protest only last week for 1:30. And our location for the 2 o'clock protest to benefit the Irish citizen is taken off from a historical point in Dublin called the Garden of Remembrance, right? And it's going to finish at another historical event, a historical location in Dublin called the GPO. But the opposition party have set a protest up for 1:30 in our finishing location, a half an hour before our protest starts, and they're going to meet us at the end of our protest. And then they try to say we're far right and we're starting trouble and instigate us. But why do a protest a half an hour beforehand? An anti-racist protest, mind, you know what I mean? and then try say we're instigating and we're trouble. You know what I mean? No, we are people that are worried about the welfare of our families, of our country, of our fellow Irishmen, and that's it. That's it. What's happening, Cole? Hope you're well. But it's all now. They're after. Thanks, Biz. Hope you're well, brother. Hope all's well. 100% wizard. 100% every right to be worried. But this opposition thing, like, they're putting labels on people. Far left, far right, far everything. And they're calling us racist. You know what I mean? Come on, like racist. It's another way of just trying to deflect. You know what I mean? It's another way of them deflecting. No, right? No. See, this is what we're saying, and I have to having this exactly. As long as it's controlled. See, now I'm not. See what the other fellow was saying. See the other fella's saying there, I'm not getting into it. But yeah, as long as it's controlled and there's proper due diligence done. What's the story? Alright, boy. When there's proper due diligence done, where you know you're not leaving serial offenders into the country. Ireland has its own crime, fair enough. Why import more? Why import more that bring crimes to the country that very, 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 very rarely ever happened? Why bring them on a mass level to this country? Do you understand? What's happening, Mia? Hope you're well. No, they're not. No, they're not. But look. Exactly. We don't need to... Exactly. As long as it's done properly, due diligence is taken, and there's a vetting procedure in place that are not importing serious crime into the country, and that we don't have to fall to their culture. Why should our culture change to appease those? Do you understand? That's not the way life works. If I was to land in any other country around the world, they'd have to do due diligence to me. They'd have to do due diligence in my background. They'd have to do integration, like integrate me into the society to fit the locals, like. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go over to, let's say, India or Palestine or Pakistan and start trying to force Christianity on people. Start trying to force my way of life, and everyone else around me has to change. That's not the way it works, like. It's not the way it works. Exactly, wizard, exactly. Mr. Nick Tattoo. Yeah, that's me partner's name. Right wing membership. Go way at the hedge, will you? You're getting blocked as well. Good luck to you. Liberty. I agree. It's a big issue. You come here, you live by your culture, not your own. Well, exactly, Jimmy. What's happening, Stevie, brother? I'm on my way up to the capital now. I'm waiting on the transport to the capital to join the thousands of proud Irish nationalists. And we march on the streets there and get the job done. Exactly, Swag. Exactly. Trump has the right idea. He's doing the business for his country. We should follow. Yeah, Ireland's having serious issues with unvetted immigration. Serious issues. Serious problems happening in this country at the minute. So we're going up here now to vocalise it. The Irish fought wars over invading forces at bare minimum. Exactly. exactly in liberty. Exactly. Exactly. Fair play, JP. Good on you. One more voice, one more body. Everybody thinks like exactly. And this is like this is forecasted to be the biggest protest ever on Irish soil. If you get mass amount of numbers and you don't fall into this woke left agenda where they're trying to make everyone else out to be violent Nazi racists, you get the business done. If this is on a world media stage now today, boys. There's news outlets from all around the world here today. You know what I mean? From all around the world here today. You know what I mean? There's people from all over. There's going to be worldwide coverage on this today, from what I'm led to believe. And fair play to McGregor. McGregor brought life to this on a world platform, and now there's people listening. You know what I mean? So, on a world platform, this is going to be broadcasted today. And it's not just going to be the RTE in Ireland. The RTE is pushing the agenda of the left woke government parties. This is the Nationalist. This is the everyday Irish man and woman. This is nationalism. You know what I mean? I'm not in Dublin yet. I'll be in Dublin now. In a couple hours, brother. In a couple hours, and we're going to go up and join the thousands upon thousands that are forecasted to be here tonight or today, all into the night. And yeah, nice one, Paddy. Nice one, Padraig. Hope you're well, brother. Nice one, Padraig. 100%, bro. 100%. Have a good one. Hope you're well. Yeah, Dublin. There's a spiritual battle going on in Dublin at the minute, brother. It's in the clutches of, this is ground zero. Dublin is ground zero to this mass illegal immigration. It was so densely populated, and it was the biggest location in the country where they could slip these unvetted migrants into, and then it spread out from Dublin. So Dublin is ground zero. This is where the problem this is where the instigation of the unvetted immigration started. So now we're going up to take the streets of Dublin in peaceful protest and voice our frustrations, voice our opinions. Like, they're putting our systems under severe pressure. Like, let alone the crime thing, right? Yeah, fair enough. Ireland has its problems. But our health systems, our mental health systems, our schooling systems, our housing situation, this is what's going to break the back of our country. This is what's going to leave us with absolute destruction. You need to be patriotic and secure. 100%. 100% independent. 100%. 11,500 homeless in Ireland. We could have ended homelessness in Ireland taking... Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Where did they learn how to... Like, for years they're saying we have nowhere to house the Irish, the homeless Irish. But all of a sudden they're after able to take in thousands upon thousands of unvetted migrants. And they were able to house them and build up iPad centres for them. It doesn't make sense. The math isn't matting up like. The maths isn't adding up like, you know what I mean? Oh, 100% coulda. 100% they are. They're even after been threats made. They're after making threats over several social media platforms saying like anyone that don't come up here. Like who are they? The unvetted, the ones that are in this country, the Free Palestine crowd and all this are all after making threats on social media telling us not to arrive up onto the Irish streets. Telling people around the country not to arrive into Dublin, like making threats. Do you know what I mean? That's been done purposely to try poke the bear, and so there will be aggravation. And then like the left love playing the victim. Like people like that love starting trouble, and then saying, "Oh, poor us." No, these are our streets. This is Ireland. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's the plan. That's what they're trying to do in the long run, replace us. Because the Irish people are now aware of what Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are up to. The Irish people are now very much aware of what they're doing. You know what I mean? And they're trying to replace us so they can keep themselves in power and benefit their own families at the expense of everyone else. All these politicians are trying to keep their lives afloat, and they're well-to-do, never stuck, have no issues when it comes to the financials or the everyday situation. Like the systems that have been blocked up, but for us, health systems, housing systems, mental health systems, homelessness, like it's not on their doorstep. It's not on the politicians' doorsteps that ensuring that we pay so they can reap the rewards. Like that's what it's about. Like, do you know what I mean? It's happening to Michael O. Jackson. What's the story? It is sick. It is sick. They can buy up whole hotels, but prefabs and fields. Exactly, coulda. Exactly, coulda. When it's our own homeless, they couldn't do that. They just kept saying, we can't find the funds and we don't have adequate housing for them. When a man put up a fucking porta cabin, put up a prefab, a mobile home on his own land, or it's what you call one of those module homes in his own land, and the council made him take it down. But yet they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing themselves to house these unvetted migrants and free the Ukrainians and all this crack. Yes, there's someone coming up there singing their head off. And they can do the same, but they can do the same but they can't do the same for the Irish. Do you know what I mean? It's madness. It's madness. It's not well, like. %, Jake. 100%. That's the truth. That's just a way of it's just a way of trying to discredit people. That's just the way of trying to put black on people's names, you know what I mean? It's just that's the way it's done. No. They don't have to follow their system and their rules when we're suffering the consequences, so they can stay nice and cosy. That's all they're doing. They're doing everything in their power to accommodate themselves, so they don't have to. Like, supposedly the purpose of government appointed officials and parliaments and the Dáil and all these presidents of Ireland is for the betterment of the Irish citizen and the Irish people. But it's reverse, like. What's happening here in Ireland is reverse. They're put into power and they're taking liberties. You know what I mean? They're taking liberties. And then everyone that doesn't agree with them, do you know what I mean? Anyone that doesn't agree with them is, oh, you're a racist and you're far right and you're a Nazi and you're Islamophobe and... Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. That's not the way. That's not the way, like. That's not the way it goes. That's the way it works in their head. They think, well, like, we're just dirt to them, like. there's homeless, like homeless Matty. The homeless situation in Ireland now at the minute is worse than it's ever been. Like, it's the worst I've ever seen it. It's the worst I've ever seen it. You know what I mean? Exactly, and that's a lot. Yeah, England is more largely populated, it's more densely populated than Ireland, but it's happening on the same scale, but just in different numbers because of the population. If anything, it'll tear through our country quicker than England, because it's smaller than England. You understand? So, like, whereas you would have felt the effects of it after a couple of years, we're going to feel the effects of it after the next year or two. Like, you know what I mean? So. They are Vignesh. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. How my family moved from here? Exactly. You have to. You don't go over trying to change cultures. You don't go over trying to forcefully apply your beliefs on people. You don't go over with the intention to everyone has to appease to you. You have to go over and adapt and integrate to society, whatever land you land in. You understand? That's my partner's name. Thanks. If history has taught us anything, you have to integrate. You can't go over and try to take over, like. You know what I mean? Integration means getting to be part of society that you're landing in, not try forcefully overtake your society. Do you know what I mean? Don't try apply what things will happen. Listen, whenever it applies in like Pakistan or any places like that, you can't come over here pushing your beliefs and your way of life on people that we all have to fall into line to your beliefs. No, it don't work that way. It's not the way it goes. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, there's a lot of Irish people. A lot of Irish people now coming up to Dublin today, going to Dublin today, and it's going to be beautiful. 100% Dan. But we will not be deterred. No, they don't. You're led to believe that. You're led to believe that's the narrative that's been spread. But I can assure you that's not the case. But you keep falling into that agenda and shut your mouth. How about that? Go over and have your shit talk somewhere else. You won't be having it here. The truth is the vast majority of Irish people don't agree to this. That's the truth. But the agenda you're led to believe and the narrative that's pushed across, and the only thing reported on national television here and news stations is that agenda. Exactly. And that's what's happening today. 100%. 100%. That's what's happening here today. So, what time are we now? Yeah. I'll be on the way now in the next 5 minutes. The next 5 minutes will be taken on. Every nation has a right to protect its culture, 100%. What I'm saying is, yeah, if they can respect us, give respect to get respect. Understand? And that don't seem to be the way. If they can integrate into society and have their own like community without trying to forcefully push their beliefs and forcefully push their ways of life and forcibly break our laws, And that's grand. That's integration. That's it. They can integrate into society without trying to be overpowering, like trying to be an overpowering and take away our culture, like. Big Hats UK. Respect you live streaming and sound, brother. I'm on the way up the country for protest. On the way up the Big Cats UK. I think that's a big channel. I think I followed you one time before. I think I watches a couple of things about you before. None about a Big Cats UK, 100%. God be with you, be safe. Sound, will do. Will do. It's a lovely day. There's the sun peeking through now, look. I have the old chest pack ready to go. All my materials. Good to go, boy. We're good to go. We're ready for road. But yeah, history has taught us anything. The Irish people will not lie down and take things lightly. Political chess, that's what's happening here at the minute. Political chess. Sound, Joe. Just where are you going? I'm going up to Dublin, Big Hats UK. I'm going up to Dublin for a big nationalist protest about the mass illegal immigration, about the housing crisis, about the mental health crisis, about the overall medical crisis. Our systems are being stretched to the max, are being pushed to the max, on the verge of breaking point over large numbers, a massive influx of illegal immigration that is stressing our services to bits. Housing, mental, physical health, schooling, education. No, the councils don't help at all. They don't do nothing, boy. No system in this society is not feeling the effects of the mass amounts of immigration. I put it to you this way. There's people's been housed in this country that are on a housing list 7 or 8 months and they're only after entering the country. And they've been housed over Irish families that are on a social housing list for 10 years, 13 years. I know, personally, there's a housing estate built where I live. And a freshly new built housing estate. And people that are in this town all their lives were put down a housing list, and the people that were brought in to the country illegally, mass immigration, mass unvetted immigration, were housed over Irish people. Were housed over Irish people that are on that social housing list 15 years. And they're on it 6 months. How does that work? If someone's on a social housing list 15 years and someone comes into the country 6 months ago, how are they prioritised over someone that's on a social housing list 15 years? It doesn't work like. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. I'm keeping it real, don't worry about me. "100%, Michael. You know that old chestnut, brother. You know that old chestnut. "100% KG. 100%, brother. For protest, brother. Today is the day for protest. Today is the day we get heard. Today is the day every Irish nationalist is taken to the streets of Dublin to vocalise our frustrations that the sitting government Today's the day. There's my transport. Right, boys, I'm off. See you in a bit. Thanks very much. There's me gone. Talk to you in a bit.